Good morning, welcome, 1,000 welcomes, happy Mother's Day, happy Divine Mother's Day. And we are meditating today on the fantastic topic, my eternal friend. The phrase comes from a teaching from Swami Nityananda, and so it's such a joy. I'll share the teaching with you, and then just a very direct entry point to touch the teaching. Swami Nityananda says, "The silence is my eternal friend and my mother." And so you can just feel the sweetness, the tenderness, the joy, the beauty in that. And so this is where we begin. So if you were here for the earlier part of our meditation, we connected with this. This is the stillness, the energy of pure potentiality prior to the arising of any form. So prior to the arising of time and space, the energy of just beingness. And that's the energy that swooshes forth, that whooshes forth, that vibrates forth, that sings forth, and becomes all of this. And so that is the energy that is blooming through all of the flowers right now. And it's the energy that blinks open your eyes in the morning. And it's the energy that tucks you into bed and helps you sleep sweetly at night. And so we're connecting with that energy. The energy of everything we've ever loved is in that stillness. And so it's the energy of compassion, the energy of hope, the energy of wholeness, the energy of family, the energy of friendship, the energy of community, the energy of connectedness. Everything that we love, it is there, just in pure potentiality. So when we allow ourselves to touch that stillness, and when we allow that stillness to flow into us, we connect with pure possibility. And so even before we get to the scriptures, let's do that. So this is, I invite you to close your eyes. This is a gift you can give yourself right now, but at any moment that you like, you can return to this gift. And so this is, I give myself permission to open my heart. I give myself permission to step back from my human body. I give myself permission to expand beyond my human biography, my human story. So if you like, we're stepping back to the beginning, back even prior to the arising of time and space, prior to the arising of the Om, prior to the arising of this universe. And there is pure silence. And the silence is the energy of limitless love. It is the energy of joy and adoring. It is the energy that is figured in human terms as angels singing the dawn into being, singing starlight into form, singing the energy of smiling and laughter into visible expression. So even prior to that, just stillness. And silently, you can say, I give permission for my heart to open and for the stillness to merge into me. I encourage you to keep your heart open and your eyes closed if you like. I'm blinking my eyes open to share some teachings. Teachings that are ancient and that connect us with this truth that we are able to contact directly in the silence. The silence is my eternal friend and my mother. So this is a teaching from Psalm 139. And in this teaching you can hear Psalms are song. They are sung, and you can hear the singing of this truth. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. And you can feel the love in that teaching. You created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Allow yourself to feel your own wholeness, the way that divine love itself forms you, and is here before you are born, is here to the end of your days, is here all through the middle part, and is here beyond what humans call the ending. From the Bhagavad Gita, the divine says to each of us, cosmic nature is my womb. In that I place the substance of objective manifestation. From thence is the birth of all beings. And so see if you can feel right there, nature itself, cosmic nature itself, gives birth to each of us with absolute love, with majesty, with rejoicing, as a gift and as a blessing, the divine divining itself through each of us. And see if you can actually feel the way the divine in your infant self came into form and reached out to explore this time and space through your 10 fingers and through your 10 toes. Reached out to experience all the perceptions, all of the life, all of the love, all of the dreaming and wondering and imagining that you have ever experienced in your lifetime. That's the divine divining itself through us. And each of us is inextricably interconnected, interwoven with all of life. So we are part of one cosmic matrix, one divine womb. We are all interconnected, all part of the one life. So your tears are mine. Your laughter is mine. Your face is mine. And the same is true for every human on the planet. That is my own face. That is a facet of my own existence. That is my own beingness, rising and dancing and shining and singing. And that is my own self falling and stumbling and crying. All of it is the one. And so none of us, if we help another, we are helping our own selves. If we harm another, we are directly harming ourselves, inescapably, and we will feel directly the consequences. And so we're invited not to live in terror, knowing that the laws of energy are universal and ineluctable. We will meet absolutely everything that we think and speak and choose and create. But we are invited to create in joy and in wisdom and in freedom, honoring and rejoicing in the laws of energy, the laws of harmony, the laws of divine love, knowing that every time we choose to forgive, it is ourselves we are forgiving and setting free. No one else. We are only ever helping ourselves. And so these teachings are reminding us of the wholeness, the allness of all of life, and also reminding us, this is something that is a teaching shared from Yogananda when he was a boy. He went and he visited a holy person who was so absorbed in meditation that the holy person said to Yogananda, I'll be with you in a moment. I'm communing with the Divine Mother now. And so tears of joy, tears of love, tears of bliss were streaming forth out of this holy person's eyes. And the holy person, when he turned to Yogananda, said, everyone that seeks the Divine Mother will find her. And so it's just an assurance. It's part of the laws of energy. If we seek the Divine Mother, we will find the Divine Mother. But one has to make the effort. And so that was the second part of this teaching shared by the holy person with Yogananda. So it will be that we are able to come into contact with that pure Divine Mother energy, and let us seek, let us make the effort, and then grace comes forth. So I'm going to share a couple of stories that crossed my path this week. So they're all true stories, and they remind us of the same truths which are shared in these teachings, which is that the divine knows us, the divine loves us, the divine forms us, the divine is with us before we're born, all the way through, and after we leave this particular embodiment. And so the first is just this funny little charming video that I saw of a mother duck and these little tiny baby ducklings, and it was the first time that they were swimming. And so you see, first of all, like this wooden platform that's maybe 3 or 4 feet above water. And the mother duck just walks up, walks to the edge of the platform, and then flies and lands in the water. And then you see this little brood, if that's the right word for collective grouping of ducks, I don't know. This little group of ducklings on this wooden platform, and they're looking and they're like, where's our mom? And then she's swimming in the water below them. And then you see first one duckling sort of make this plummet, and it doesn't know how to fly. So it just plummets. It just plummets. And then you can kind of see it like bounce up off of the water. And then it's like, oh, I'm in a new element, swim, 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 swim. And every single duckling had to make that leap, had to make that fall, had to make that plummet. That's us coming into embodiment. That's us going, bah! You want me to be where? And then finding ourselves in this magnificent time and space and saying, I can swim. I can be here. There is joy here. There is beauty here in this amazing form, in this amazing time, in this amazing place. But you can also see like the act of sheer, from a human perspective, that duck doesn't know what's coming next. It doesn't know that it can swim yet. And so it's this leap of faith. It's this leap of, I don't know what's going to come next, and I'm going to step off this wooden platform, fall, and then it plummets. And every single one of them, you can see it sort of bounce up on the water and begin to swim. And then it's the mother showing them, oh, look, we're all here in the water and we're all swimming. And so each of us, in some ways, we are that little duckling, always learning to swim in a new element. And then in some ways, our larger expanded awareness, our soul, we've done this before. And so there's this wise, aware aspect of ourselves, which is like, I've got you. This is going to be okay. Yes, we don't know what comes next. Yes, we have to make a leap. Yes, we're going to fall. Yes, we'll learn how to swim. And so we are the baby ducklings, but we're also the mother duckling. And we can be the mother duckling for one another. So we can be that kindness, we can be that steadiness, we can be that assuredness for one another in daily life. And so just kind of check in and see where you are with that. Are you feeling like the baby duckling, like you're about to plummet and fall and learn how to swim in a new element? Or are you feeling in contact with your mother duck energy? And you're like, I know how to swim. This is fine. I know how to fly. No problem. And you're just sort of calmly helping others paddle along. And we go back and forth. And in different areas of our life, we might feel like we're the baby. And in another area of our life, we might feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing here. I've got this kind of steady and in balance. And so be patient. Keep your sense of humor. And remember just sort of like that, the wonder, the awe, the wonderment, the blessing of exploring life in this realm. The other is a story from a man who was catapulted out of his body and met the light. And the light appeared to him. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the divine says, I come to you in the form you worship me. And so if you leave the body and you meet the light and you connect with the light in the form of the Buddha, guess what you'll meet? If you connect with the light in the form of Jesus, guess what you'll meet? So this particular person left his body, catapulted out of his body, and met the light in the form of Jesus. And the man was so filled with love in the presence of Jesus, and also so filled with rueful self-awareness of all the opportunities he had missed in his life and time and embodiment so far. And Jesus says, well, don't worry, I'll let you go back. Like, you can go back and you can enjoy all the wonderful opportunities for practicing unconditional love that we get in time and space. And the man said, oh, I am going to go back and I am going to build the most incredible, the most beautiful, the most bizarre building in your honor that people will just have to stand up and notice. And Jesus was like, please don't build me a building. That does nothing for me. That's for humans. Buildings do nothing for me. And the man's like, oh, well then what can I do when I go back? And Jesus says, love the humans who are around you. And the man's like, what? And Jesus says, yep, that'll change the world if you love the humans who are around you. And the man says, you don't know the humans who are around me. And Jesus says, my divine plan is bigger than you. Just do your part. Just love the humans who are around you. And the man says, but you don't know how grouchy I am. You don't know how cranky I am. And Jesus says, just love the humans who are around you. That changes the world. And that's your only job as a human. Another little interesting element in this interchange, when the man was like, I'm going to build the most beautiful, bizarre, amazing building so people will have to pay attention to you. Jesus said to the man, who is an artist, you've already been using your art to hide from engagement with other people. Don't keep doing that. So just a really intriguing teaching shared not with this man alone, but with everyone, to not hide from sharing love with the humans who are directly in our lives. And to know that that right there really is the central mission of every human on the planet. So independent of our other tasks, our other obligations, our other skills, independent of anything else, every one of us, that's the laws of energy. Each of us is asked, how much kindness did you create? How much love did you share? How much compassion were you able to muster? And so this man who came back and he's now here, he's like, you have no idea how hard that is. He's like, this isn't just love the people who are nice, love the people who are good, love the people who are easy to love. He's like, this is love the people. Love all of them. And so that's where we gain in spiritual strength. That's where we gain in that ability to be that absolute divine mother energy. And it's something that, just like any athlete, as we practice, as we strengthen ourselves, we gain in the ability to be the energy of steady, patient, kind, caring, compassionate, aware, generous, good-hearted, good-humored, laughter and light and blessedness right in the midst of all of the humanness. And so one of the things that I will just mention is reminding ourselves, we know this, but there is a misconception that says something like, as soon as there is realization of the truth, as soon as the light is present, then life and embodiment will be easy. Life and embodiment will be life and embodiment. And so life and embodiment has contrasts. And so life and embodiment will give you the full range of experiences of life and embodiment. And the question only ever is, how kind, how wise, how caring, how patient, how joyful can I be in the midst of all of this? How much can I be that absolute divine mother energy in the midst of all of this? And the answer is, we can do it. Because our soul already is all that. In our expanded awareness, we are the Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother is here as all of this. And so we're invited, anytime we're feeling limited, constrained, anytime we're feeling kind of like that gasping, choking, like, I can't do this, that feeling. Never felt that feeling, right? We're just invited to expand. So expand beyond the awareness of the individual and expand into the awareness of the soul, and then beyond the soul to expand into the awareness of pure beingness. That's back to stillness, silence, my eternal friend, my mother, the energy of pure potentiality before we come into being. And then I'll just share really briefly, this is a really precious story after a human mother had left the body. So a young couple, husband and wife, had gone to the funeral for his mother, and then they had gone to her family home, the mother's family home, and they had had food and they'd had a celebration. There was a lot of family there. And it was nighttime, and the husband and wife were leaving that family home to go back out to their car. They turned around and they looked back at the house, and they could both see his mother standing exactly where she always stood to wave goodbye after they'd had a family evening. And they both saw it at the same time. And he burst into tears. It was the first time he had been able to cry since his mother had passed away. And he couldn't speak, but they sort of looked at each other and was like, did you just see that? And they both realized they had seen it at the same time. And very clearly they both got that she was saying, goodbye for now. She was still fine. Her love was still with them. And she was sending them back to their home, back to this time in this space, to live out the fullness and the joy of this particular life. And her love and her presence, her vitality, her joy was completely with them. And so that is true as well. So for those of us, if a mom or if a loved one is not in embodiment, their love, their steadiness, their strength, their presence is with us always. It is as close to us as our own breath. It is right there in the beating of our heart. And we are invited, if we are here, to open our heart to the fullness of life, to the beauty of life, to the joy, to the wonder, to the being fully alive, to being the energy of happy family, to being the energy of community and connection and caring in this time and space. And we actually bless our ancestors with that. So let me think of one more way to say this. Many of us have ancestors who experienced extraordinarily difficult things. We do not need to carry their pain. Instead, we can create freedom, joy, love, and healing. And we can share freedom, love, joy, and healing with them. That is the greatest gift that we can give our ancestors, is living in freedom, love, joy, and healing. Lovingly laying down the pain that they carried. They do not need us to carry their pain. They did that already. And so the gift that we can give is to feel their love and their strength, and to share joy and beauty and freedom and gladness and open-heartedness and love and wholehearted laughter and community and connectedness right here in this realm of time and space. Thank God. God bless us all.